AC Milan MTL here, and today I'm going to be talking about match day number 26 in the Serie A 2012-2013 season, the match that featured Milan against Inter. So of course, a very much attended game, as it was the derby of the Madonnina in Milan today, and it was a very important game because both these teams are very tight on points. Of course, Milan was 1 point ahead of Inter before the game started, and therefore had a great chance to move up and obviously extend that gap between the two teams. So as usual, I'm going to be talking to you about the match in general, how it pretty much went, and the player performances in my opinion. Milan had a pretty decent match, we have to say this. Of course, we didn't play as well in the second half, but the first half we played brilliant. I have to say, as I said, it's a game of two halves. In the first half we played really amazing, and in the second half we didn't do as well as we wanted to. So in the first half, as we know, we got the goal by El Shaarawy at the 21st minute. Beautiful goal, great finish by El Shaarawy, puts Milan ahead. But what I want to be talking to you about is the chances that we missed this game that cost us this draw. Because in my opinion, I don't think Milan really deserved the draw. I think we deserved more. Obviously, if we kept the same aggression that we had in the first half and the same intentions that we had, we were obviously going to go and get that second goal no matter what in the second half. But it didn't go as planned. So as I said, in the first half we missed many chances, especially through Balotelli, that could have scored at least a goal tonight. And he missed a couple of chances there with fine saves from Mandanovic. We could have got a 2-3-0 lead in the first half, but unfortunately we didn't because Balotelli was denied of those chances. Milan had great chance to go ahead, further goals, with more goals, but we didn't. And I don't want to blame the field or the pitch because we know it was a very tough Sunday today, as the match wasn't even supposed to be played at the beginning. Many reports were saying that it had to be called off because of the heavy snow and everything. And so the pitch wasn't as great. As we know, it was very wet for whoever watched the game. You could have seen that the pitch was very wet and players were always falling. And Milan did have some good opportunities that if the field wasn't like that, we could have scored easily. Now I don't want to blame the field here, and no offense to Barcelona, but they're obviously the ones that usually blame about fields and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that we could have scored some goals if the pitch wasn't the blame for some occasions that we had. Overall, in general, the first half was great. 1-0 lead into halftime, just what we wanted. Second half started, and we have to say that we weren't playing with that much aggression, as I mentioned before. We weren't obviously pushing for the goals. We were playing a bit more conservative, and Inter was always coming at Milan and trying to get the equalizer. Of course, we have to say the great save by Abbiati on Guarin that really kept the team with a 1-goal advantage against Inter. But I have to say that, as I said, we played too conservative in the second half. We weren't pushing enough, and that caused the equalizer for Inter and ended the game on 1-1 thanks to a goal by Schelotto. Now, as I said, Milan should have had a different approach in the second half. Obviously, 1-0 leads are not enough. We've seen it plenty of times, not only with Milan games, but in games in general. We know 1-goal leads are not enough. We need to keep pushing for that second goal. We did get unlucky, as I said, in the first half, but really, this tie should have been a win. And I think the only people that we could blame for this is ourselves. Because really, with all those chances that we had in the first half, we should have went comfortable in the second half with a 2-3-0 lead and obviously put the game to bed. And unfortunately, it didn't go like this, but it's going to come up to next match, of course. So now I'm going to be talking to you about the players' performances. Milan, of course, played in a 4-3-3 formation with Abbiati in goal, Abate, Zapata, Mexes, and De Sciglio for the defense. As for the midfield, Montari, Montolivo, and Nocerino were preferred. And for up front, Boateng, Balotelli, and El Shaarawy. So as usual, I'm going to be starting with the defense. And what I think, pretty much, not everyone played a good game in the defense. De Sciglio, probably the best player, if not El Shaarawy, I have to say, of this game for Milan. De Sciglio in the first half showed what he could do. Great runs. This guy could cross the ball in like crazy. We've seen it game after game, of course, De Chilio, but it's to take note. This player is just amazing. At such a young age, he could cross the ball that well and can make runs even better than Abate. This guy deserves a starting spot on the team, no matter what. Great game by him. Provided great crosses, provided great assists. Unfortunately, his assists didn't count as goals, but overall, great performance by him. As for Abate, he played a good game as well. Had some good crosses, but he's too obvious, I find. Every time he's running for the ball, he always makes a little cut in and goes on the right, and it doesn't really finish what he wants to do. He's too obvious when he plays. Doesn't go for the deke sometimes or for the simple passes. Always waits, makes a cut, and goes for the right. Something that we don't want to see too much because we know how it's going to end up. And usually his crosses are not the very best. So I wouldn't say this is Abate's best game of the season. As for the defense, Zapata brought good security to the team. I find he made some good challenges in the air. And I think he played well in general. But Maxes was the cause for the equalizer. He didn't even jump for the for the goal of Inter. He didn't jump to clear the ball, and it's not the first time we see it this season. Of course, we've seen it so many times that unfortunately this is what we have to put up with game after game. But personally, I think Maxes could have done way more on that equalizer. That's about it for the defense. But as I said, De Chilio the best for the defense, probably the best of the team in this game, and Maxes not so great. As for the midfield, I'm going to start with Muntari. Of course, he got a goal against Barcelona during the week, all hyped up, obviously wanted to do well and show that he could still do good. And I have to say, it wasn't his best game as well. Yes, he lost the ball many times. He was making good passes once in a while, but not his best game, not on top of it. And of course, I have to say that Muntari still needs a lot of time to come into the game again and find that match form that he once had when he used to play with Inter. As for Montolivo, once again, great game by him. Sometimes he gave the ball away, but most of the time kept cool, had the possession, got the ball to his teammates, and really his passes never fail most of the time. Really good. That's what we need as a central midfield. Montolivo does the job right. And even Berlusconi said it during the week. He loves what he's doing. Montolivo is doing an amazing job. He's trying to cover that role that Pirlo had back in the years. Obviously, it's not the easiest job to do, but he's doing his part, and I really enjoy watching him as he keeps the ball most of the time and keeps to that possession, which is key to most of our attacks. As for Nocerino, I have to say he was probably one of the worst in the pitch today, mainly because, as I said, he hasn't been playing much, we have to say, during these past few weeks. He hasn't been featured in many games, and he just came back from his injury. Today, he was very not seen around the pitch, really. We couldn't really identify him because he barely had the ball, and I have to say, not a very good game by him at all. As I said, he wasn't really with the ball much. He wasn't really involved in the plays leading up to chances, and overall, not a good game, as I said. As for the forwards, we're going to start with Prince Boateng. He put his aggression in this game. I have to say, he gave it his all. Yes, of course, he's not at that level, as I said, during the weeks. He doesn't have the match form that he had last year, of course. We know that. But I have to say, he put in that aggression today and showed that he still wants to fight a lot for the team. But I think the turning point right here is that he can't do as much that he used to do last year. That's the thing, because he doesn't have the same support of the players, because obviously last year, personally, I think he was covered by Ibra a lot, and this year you can't really find someone to rely on. So he's not playing his best, but we can see slight improvements game after game. As for Balotelli, I would say first half really amazing, second half zero. First half, as I said, he created many chances, unfortunate not to score himself. Kept his cool throughout the game, of course, as we know the Inter fans were shouting at him and calling him names throughout the game, and kept his cool. We have seen how Balotelli has matured so much over these games that Milan played, and I have to say, really he had his chances in the first half, and the second half he was almost like Nocerino, not much seen around the pitch, and unfortunately didn't have any chances to score. And I have to say, He didn't get much support, but himself, he didn't create much for himself as well. As for El Shaarawy, he got the goal, he's back on the scoring chart, and this guy is just amazing. Game after game, he puts in the effort, he puts in the goals, and this is what we want. 16 goals so far in the Serie A this season, which is proving once again to be one of the top scorers in the Serie A this season. Really good work by him. In the second half, he struck a great volley, but couldn't get in that second goal that we very much needed. But it's good to see him once again scoring, as we haven't seen him scoring that much in the past few weeks. Of course, as soon as Balotelli came back in, he started scoring goals, and El Shaarawy wasn't seen as much. But as I said, it's good to see him on the scoring sheet once again. Great job by him. That's about it for the game, guys. The game ended 1-1 on a tie, and as I said, we probably needed more. We deserved more. But unfortunately, we have to settle in for this point, which keeps us ahead of Inter, and we're going to have to wait till Lazio's match tomorrow in order to see if Lazio pass us in the standings or not. Anyways, what really counts right now is beating the big teams, and as we know, the next game will actually be against Lazio at the San Siro next week. So it's crucial to win that match, and it's probably going to be one of the most important matches this year to see if Milan will actually make it to the Champions League next year or not. So very crucial matches coming up ahead, and we're going to need wins in order to continue our progress and fight for that third and final Champions League spot. That's about it for the game, guys. If you enjoyed the match report, please click on the like button. Also, if you haven't yet, please follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, as I post Milan news regularly throughout the week, and you'll always be updated with the latest Milan news on a daily basis. So very important for that, and also you'll know when the next match reports will be out, as I posted on Twitter and Facebook as well. That also gives you another reason to click on the subscribe button up there and subscribe for more Milan vlogs, news, and FIFA gameplay. This is AC Milan MTL here, signing out, and Forza Milan!